To each of you, what's changed about the SCA that you like the most in the time you played? Or do you like, how about this? Do you like the most or do you like the least?
That is the hardest question.
I don't want to talk about what I like the least.
That's fair.
I'll talk about what I like the most. This is a small thing. This is my personal group, Rhythmatic, who has gone through a number of changes recently. And we're a college town, so some of you who live in SCA groups of college towns, you know this well. We have tides in our group. We have an amazing group of young folks that come in as freshmen or sophomores. They rock our world. They become the next foundation for what's going to happen, and then they graduate and go away. And so Rhythmatic has struggled over a lot of years with that. And there was a particular hard, empty time for a while. This is years back. But we have a group of people now that are our college people. For me, aside from all the old friends and everybody that I love, for me, the new young people are the most wonderful part of the SCA. It reminds me of when I was young and stupid. They're young and smart. I was young and stupid. But that youth, that enthusiasm, that, well, let's try something different. Can I do this? Go ahead, knock them out. And that's not changed, really. For me, it's the same. It's the same when I started. I've seen it throughout all the years. I love that enthusiasm. You know, some of the young people in the SCA are getting on to 50 and 60, but that's what I love most about the SCA. Wild and crazy, happy, youthful, enthusiastic people.
Yeah, okay.
I like
No, what I like most is, I remember at the beginning, and we were on wagon. We were just, one of the things I like the most is the amount of work that we put into the visible, the real stuff. Because you cannot imagine how far from, oh God, we were a scruffy looking bunch, cheap tunics, blue jeans, and we had a lot of fun, but over the years, it's amazing the amount of surf, the amount of work, the amount of stuff that's going into making this look and act the way we do now. Because honestly, guys, you wouldn't have wanted to know anything 40 years ago. It was bad. Double knit tunics. I still got mine. I gotta wear it sometime. Green double knit with gold braid.
Many years ago,
Yeah.
in the very beginning of South Downs, I remember when
time stood still.
Time stood still. But House Arborea had 3 tea-tunics, and usually only 2 of them showed up at a time. If you were good friends with Arborea, you could wear a tea-tunic.
And everybody wears blue jeans. And everybody would step up from blue jeans, and people have made fun of these pictures, were tights, dancers' tights. And we had no idea what you were supposed to wear. You know, so dancers' tights were fairly easy to find, they were fairly durable, and we fought with them. Yeah, I mean, they're amazingly durable. They last a long time. And they were easy to find, you just got platforms. And everybody. And so when the Robin Hood movie came out with the song Men in Tights, you know, we're men, manly men, we're men in tights. I love that because everybody wore them. Because nobody knew how to sew pants. And nobody was quite sure what kind of pants we were supposed to wear. Oh, let's just get some tights and forget about it. But we've come great years, amazing distances in every aspect, in reaction, in clothing, in fighting, in everything. This thing is, we would 40 years ago tell the BBC in front of this many people with this kind of tennis and costume, we'd come up crazy. It wasn't possible. And you've made that possible.
Right.
And that's one of the things that's great about this. We just want to stay on the mark. And you've done all the work. And you made all the shit.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were pretty spectacular.
John's a Celt, so when he was like, "Oh, this is my thing. What is this?" That was his like,
in every direction.
I don't have no pants. Okay, well that was John's experience. Now, some of us from a slightly later time period, we knew what we were supposed to wear.
You got
So-
tight. They didn't stretch.
But-
they didn't stretch.
But I was wearing party clock tights.
I've got a picture.
And
of
boy,
this
his
man.
face.
I've got a picture of you. All right, you want to know how primitive it is? I got a picture of this man in the first tournament I was ever at in my backyard. He is wearing a Freon can, a body stocking. I don't know.
Party color tights.
A body stocking. No thing on his hands. Barefoot. With, let's see, oh, and you're fighting Florentine with no quillions on his swords with bare hands. That was state of the art, guys.
And that was before they cut through off your whole range.
No, I had the little steel pots, the Polish steel pots for handguards. That's what I wore. But
Not in the pictures I got.
oh really?
You're out there and they're stabbing tips and you're going,
Well, you know, this is the whole starving student. I was a starving student, and somebody gave me 2 pieces of rattan. I couldn't afford plywood for a shield, so I fought with what I was given. Now,
and you had foam rubber thorns glued to the damn Freon.
I don't know about that.
I do, because it
I'll
sat
have to
my
see the
closet.
pictures on that.
Oh, you had 2 little horns cut out of foam rubber stuck to the top of the Freon.
One of
Yes,
the-
you did.
One of the things, when John and I first joined, and Southdowns was brand new, well, we sort of knew each other because, oh, there's this guy over in the other side of the meeting room. But I wasn't his squire at first. And so, John was John the Madcap. I had independently picked the name Mad Orlando. I looked around at all the various lords and ladies and people being gentlemen and women and kind of went, I know the Middle Ages economics, and 98% of you were supposed to be Indians and chiefs. So I chose a beggar persona. I was a beggar and I was a jester. And that's where the party colored tights came in, jester. And when I was a beggar, I fought barefoot, barehanded, and as little as was legally allowed. Like I said, I was a little too much into theater.
You ate better.
Pardon?
You ate better.
That's true. In the early days, there were no feasts. Everyone brought their own dinner. And so one of the things, and nobody figured this out until Idiot Orlando told a friend, and then the word got around. So everybody would bring their own dinner to a feast, all right? And what would happen is, you looked around, it's usually a U-shaped table, and there's someone up at the high seat, usually Sven, because he was either Seneschal, later on he was Baron. But what would happen is, well, here's this group, and they've got steak. Here's this group, and they have fresh strawberries. And here's a group with shrimp. And here's a group with Alfredo, pasta Alfredo. Now, I was a beggar. I never brought food to an event. And I thought I was not being cheap. I thought I was being serious in my craft. And so I would beg for my supper. And if I didn't successfully beg, I didn't eat. But I realized really quickly that this is a nice group of nice people. I'm never going to go hungry. And furthermore, I'm going to get a bite of the best off of every single dish on this table. So,
My crippled brother, little Kenny, who's not here.
there are a million ways to get a piece of steak from someone who doesn't want to give it to you. I had my little crippled brother Timmy. I had accomplices. One of my favorite things was to, now, this is theatrics. This is things you can do in the SCA. It's not done much anymore. You always have to arrange it in advance. People always have to know what's going on and feel safe. But I would arrange with someone in advance. I would pick their pocket and get caught and be forcibly ejected from the hall. And if I managed to grab a chicken on the way out of the hall, well, you know, so much the better. So these are all things you can do. One of the things that probably most of you have never heard, when I started, I was Mad Orlando, I was his beggar. And then somebody went, I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I think I can clean him up. And he asked me to be his squire. And I, at that point, said, well, I can't get bigger and Squire, so I changed my persona. I kept the name Orlando, and that's when I became Orlando Caminante. But I didn't really want to let go of the bigger persona, and so you haven't seen it recently. I haven't done it recently, but I do have an alternate persona, and his name is Mad Randall Lynch.
And you know Mad Randall because he got a different voice than that ugly fluting Duke guy. And then Randall, he's got this scar around his throat, and he plays, and he dresses in rags.
And Mad Randall has a story about how he was hung, which is where his voice and his scar around his throat came from. And so it was a way, you know, you would know if you were dealing with Orlando or if you were dealing with Mad Randall trying to pick your pocket. It kept things safe, and everyone understood what the game was. So, you know, that's how that goes.
Can we pause just a second? She's got to change shapes. Actually, the board came to me, court's been pushed back to 5:30, so 10 minutes. I'd really like to have Matt Edward answer the question once we take back.
So don't say anything around.
Yeah. I know it's part of
Oddly enough, I'm skilled.